Prismatic Lenses welcomes you to a place you can see magic happen. Utilizing Urz's blueprints, the pieces of the puzzle come together with a quality that is second to none. From our patented millstone polishing technique to our dignified use of stonehorn, our lenses bend both light and mana. First exams are free. Prismatic Lenses.
Hello everyone, it is Deluxe, it is Saturday, and that means it's time for Propaganda. Playing a fan favorite request by about 16-fold. It's been about 9 months since we played this last. This is Black Sack, the way I like to play it. Very different than, I know like Cooper the Red likes to run a build where it kind of cares more about the creatures and builds them up. This one just doesn't care. It's just, except for the Bone Picker, we don't really care. We want everything in this list to die, and if it doesn't die, then we kill it because of things like this. And then we bring it back with things like this and this. So we've got 17 lands. 4 of them are vaults so that we can use the Deadly Dispute on them in a pinch, because after about 3 mana, we don't really need any more, except for those games when you really want to be tripping Crypt Rats for 5 or more, etc. Mind Step, throwing them, Chimpskey, Daddy-O, Shabrazaman, thanks you all for being here nice and early, and Bacon Master, nice, I like that. I've been a Bacon Master many mornings myself. And shout out to Brute Force MTG out of San Diego. I had another nice chat via email with, let me get it right again, Matt, and going back and forth on a few lists and discussing goblins and such, so we're having a good time there. And I know because of that shout out, a few of you have actually made it to the store and started playing with those guys, so awesome. Keep it up. Let's do it some more. And if you got something you want to share, send it to propaganda@gmail.com, and we'll give you a shout out if you've got a little community thing and you want to get the word out about playing actual paper magic and meeting everybody. So AZN2K2, good to see you, man. I like the emotes there, my friend. So I made room for 1 Lifestaff in this as a homage to red decks, but because of that, we usually have enough staying power. We're playing 4 Footlight Fiends, 4 Village. Well, let me focus on this for those of you that are new to this. Okay, so we've got 12 draw package, right? We've got the Rites, the Bargain, and the Dispute. Our recursion package is the 4 Unearth and the Pit Keeper. In this late game, unearthing a Pit Keeper to go get back something like a Bone Picker, it's nasty. And a lot of times the critique on this list will be, well, outside of a Crypt Rat, how do you finish? And it's like, well, if you a Bone Picker, especially an equipped Bone Picker, is 1 less than a Gurmag Angler, and it flies and it has evasion and all kinds of good stuff. So there's your answer to that. Anyway, we've got a super low curve here. We've got removal for days as far as creatures go, so we don't really have any removal main other than the Crypt Rats and our pointed removal like this. And keep in mind, Perilous Myr bumps into a Guardian of the Guild pack, kills it. A lot of people don't know that angle. It's obvious afterwards, but and then because of that too, and we're able to kill just about everything in this list with Fleshbag Marauder, meaning, I do mean everything. I mean, if there's if there isn't, we Crypt Rat it away, and if it's specific, we block it with a Bone Picker. Enough on that list. We'll go over to the sideboard. I kept this very budget light. I want you to realize this. If you're new to Magic Online, for the price of admission, which is like $10, and if you sell your products, you get 9-10 tickets back. This list, as it sits right now, with all the fixins, is less than 11 tickets, dollars, US dollars, whatever. In real life, I looked it up, it's $28. So it's very competitive. I did it this way with Tragic Slip to kind of keep it under that. You can play Snuff Out. If I was going to a tournament, I might consider Snuff Out, although there's plenty of times when Tragic Slip is more than enough. We've got one Unexpected Fangs in the sideboard, 4 Det Takami, mostly for affinity. Their ability to gain life, similar to us, and be able to draw on stuff, it can be a pain. So we take out their munitions and their they're big heavy hitters, so we can turn off Blood Fountain and such. 3 Macabre, 2 Spell Bombs, and 1 last Lifestaff. So without further ado, I'm going to run on over here. I've been playing a lot of Diablo, having a lot of fun. In fact, I was playing with Lit a Fight of old PauperRBust Lore, our first co-host, and having a lot of fun with him. Played with both him and my son last night. That was a lot of fun. I was definitely a low man on the totem pole. Sorry about this, guys. I didn't have this all set up here. Boop, boop, boop. We'll kill this. We've got a bit of flood here. I'm going to mulligan this hand. Open this up. Okay, well, I'm actually going to keep this, and we'll get rid of a rat. Let's see, done. I keep this because we've got double Ghast, and they should die, and even at 2 or 3 mana, we're fine with this list, so we'll see how we go. People, there's a psychology to this deck. I really hate seeing that. That's both of our late game pit keepers showing up early, so not the best hand, but hey, what's new? A lot of people, it takes them a game and a half to understand what the hell I'm doing. Like, they'll just sit there and like firebolt or lightning bolt stuff, and I'm like, thank you, or I'll beat them to the punch and kill it first, you know. Removal for days. All right, and I do think I found the problem, at least with one of my issues here. I'm going to lead both these out. If anything dies, I'll get some mana out of it, is the deal here. I looked into the Discord server with regards to my OBS little blinking problem, and I think I might have partially solved it. The problem was my webcam had a mic on, even though I had it muted and everything, and that audio was crossing over with the other ones and was causing a little bit of a hiccup and different feeds going through. So we'll see. There's also, man, we are really paying for keeping this one, right? We'll attack. Darn it, I was really hoping for a block there. Personal update. Not going to Hawaii. At the last minute, we changed our trip to Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. And so I'm actually thrilled. I've lived near the beach, go to the beach all the time. And so spending a lot of money to go to another beach, especially one that I've been to 3 or 4 times. I know fourth world problems or whatever you want to call it, right? It just always feels a little lackluster to me. Yeah, the beach is a little bit nicer, but not enough to warrant the price tag. So it'd be nice to go to a place I've never sat foot in and such. So see some moose. Hopefully don't see any, what do you call bears? There's quite a few grizzlies in the area, so have a mad respect for those, having grown up near them. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to Village Rites. Our deck's really fighting us for mana resources here, so... Oh, boy. Actually, I'm just going to kill this. I could definitely use the token there, but oh my goodness. That is crazy. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll play 17 lands. We only need one more to really kind of get things rolling. And Jellystone. All right. Come on over, little doggy. 4 mana to 1. All right. This is maddening. It's tough to beat any list with 1 mana. But I did keep it. It is my fault. Oh, Dead Debate. I don't know if anything doesn't reinforce that, meaning that kind of seems to be the way with everything. Good grief. What is happening here? All right. Well, I'll try to draw something here in the form of... all right. I really hate having to use a Unearth on a Shambling Ghast, but I will. It'll at least get us a mana here. And we're going to have to discard something anyway to... Good Lord. This is really ridiculous. I think I want to get rid of this because then we can play it. If we top deck an Unearth, Crypt Rat, I'd rather keep safe or secret. No more lands for me, yeah, ever. Just going to get them out of there, right? Don't think we're winning this game 1. Good grief. Excessive, what do you call this? I'll just call it USA. Red, white, and blue. Got him at 13. It's respectable. Interesting. Wowza. Okay, it's about effing time. I'll just say it. We've got one creature in the yard. If I attack with everything, they're going to block. We're going to get a few things back. I'm not quite sure if we can win this one. I think we just sit back on Deadly Dispute, maybe. You know, they're going to have some form of removal, be able to come through. We have some form of removal, and that we can Deadly Dispute and at least kill one of the dudes. I think I'm just going to sit back here. Rather draw some lands. Get another critter in the yard. Pit Keeper for sure. Not the way I usually have creatures end up in the graveyard, but what you gonna do? And between the bargain and the Unexpected Fangs, you usually can gain enough life. I try to build with 2 Unexpected Fangs main, and I really didn't like seeing it the majority of the time. Don't think we're gonna be able to wiggle out of this one if they start gaining life here. They probably think we're on like edicts, so they don't want to hurt that companion there. Clean up. We'll discard a Pit Keeper. Now our opponent's like, what the hell is this guy playing? Unless they're a fan of the show. I keep meaning to... I might actually bring this to a league soon. I shouldn't say that when it's having a horrible draw, right? But it's one of those lists, like when I'm in the mood to play it, I can pilot it really well, and it seems to just get there. It's technically 8 rat for those of the of that persuasion. And I say that because not as far as 8 rack, but with 8 rat meaning we've got Unearth, and technically it's 10 rat with Pit Keeper, or 20 rat because you can just keep bringing it back with Unearth effects. Oh, Nocturnal 32. What's up from Hawaii? Are you in Hawaii? Because I am not. I was figuring to be tomorrow, but change of plans, and I'm happy about it. Go and get you some. Let's go. Definitely a dispute turn with the Ghast here. All right. Well, let's let's go for damage here and this one here. This way we'll still get in 1 damage. Nope. We're going to be here next week too. We're going to Yellowstone from Monday through Friday, so back just for the show. That's how much I respect it. Okay, we're going to make a treasure actually because we're really hurting for mana. I don't know where the removal's at. It's like, why are they playing red exactly? Okay, because that doesn't die, and neither do we. Woo! Drawing some cards. Yeah, last week the stream was in 2 pieces, so I had to export each one of them and then import them, which is, a couple of gigs each, and so the show was a little late, so apologies for that, but I didn't want to upload multiple videos and hope everybody could do the math sort of thing. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 creatures in the yard. Not enough yet. We'll get there soon, folks. I almost promise. Let me bring out a Fiend. I'll just keep this, we'll just keep being the Monarch here. And let me bring out one of these. Really like to be flooded instead so that we can trip Crypt Rats for the win, but never know. They're so heavily white leaning right now. It might be a Prismatic Strands heavy build. I'm not quite sure. You can never tell. There's just so much flexibility these days. Cool. There's a land we want. We can trip Rats for 3 now. That'll do 5 to the opponent because of the Perilous Myr. 6, 7 because of the Footlight Fiends. The math can sneak up on ya. Yeah, I was playing Diablo 4 completely incorrect. I've never felt older gaming-wise in my life. My son was just, you could almost hear him rolling his eyes. It was just like, Dad, no, do this. And, oh my God, you didn't do X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, ugh. When he showed up, I was just hanging out in a swamp listening to the frogs. They have really good frog animations, and I love frogs, so he was kind of laughing at his old man. Have we seen any of the blue? Nope, it has just been all white. I don't know what these extra colors are for. Maybe it's to throw you off. They're holding a whole lot of cards in their hand, that's for sure. I just don't want life to show up here. I think I'll still favor blocking with the ghast to get the tokens. I've seen double ephemerates already. Don't want to see another Inspiring Overseer. Could be the case of just a few points of mana. Yeah, it can be tough to attack into this. I'm tempted to bargain here, but I don't want to lose 2 tokens when I can almost... Well, we're pretty far from wiping the board. What am I talking about? Oh, it's going to be one of those games, eh? All right. I think they're just waiting for a flyer to show up. I think I'm just going to clog the ground and try to win with a home run Crypt Rat so we can sack everything and lose a bunch of Myrs and everything else. So we'll go that route. Bring this out. Okay, I'll just EOT this. Can't attack anyway, so we don't have to feign like we're going to do anything sneaky in that department. What do we have here? I'll beat you to it. Let me get some life out of that deal. And we'll shoot you instead. So they go down a card, they take 2 to the face, and we gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. But we do have to discard, so... But we have turned on Pit Keeper. Good times, good times. I must discard. We've got a few too many draw effects, but we have multiple Crypt Rats, so I'll throw that out in case we do get a lucky Unearth. We can really surprise them. Mid to late game Unearth can be backbreaking in this build. Once you get 5-6 mana out there, you just win from out of nowhere. Hey, it's cheers to the first red card we've seen, right? Woo! Not sure what they're playing. Okay. Well, let's do some things. They're likely to blink that, so I want to put something there that really won't die. Let's put this here, this here, this here, and this here. Now I can write this to... They're likely to blink that Stonehorn, but I'm still going to try it. We'll do this. We'll say -1/1, so we can keep Monarch, maybe. We're not killing it. Go up some cards here. We do 4 damage to our opponent. If we get Unearth here, we win, I think. Even with that, I mean, we didn't draw lands for the first 5 turns, I think. That was nuts. No, I think we're still going to lose, though. We're going to really need to... Yeah. Bit too low on the life here, Governor. Got Unexpected Fangs. That could really add up, especially with 4 creatures out. Boy, they are very land heavy, aren't they? We've seen 1 red card. There's 2. Is that official Mind Stab? Man, that's crazy. Now they're all showing up. Sure love these new Vault of Whispers. The artwork on that is amazing. Well, we can technically trip rats with Unexpected Fangs. Start having a good time with that. Let's see. What are our options? We could do that and Fangs for 1. That would gain us a whole lot of life. It might be the best play to keep us in this. Yeah, and if it eats a lightning bolt, we'll just concede. Shouldn't have tripped that last treasure. That might have been a difference maker there. Yeah, I wonder what this blue is for, right? Okay, now we have too many lands. We'll get rid of a vault. Well, before I block, I can make a decision on how much life I have, right? We'll see. If this rat survives, might be able to pull this off. We'll throw Fangs on this. If it gets bolted, we're just dead. Let's see how much life I gain here. Tripping this for black. X is currently that done. Now I'm at 18, so I can take this damage. It's shameful when a rat lives. Yeah, I think this is Snapbolt's Boros list. Thing of beauty, I say. Oh, man. Wonder what the logic is behind one flame slash main. That's going to end it. If we could have untapped, we could have won this game despite that horrific start. So let's hopefully we can start a little bit better. You guys see it, right? We just drop a swamp and then rats for... Well, we'd have to do one to gain the life. That on the stack. Or we could have at least drawn. Let's put it that way. Alrighty. Well, a lot of stuff's going to die. They're probably going to bring in extra graveyard hate, so I'm going to probably go something like this. I'm not too worried about their graveyard. I think I'm just going to keep it like this, guys. Fleshbag's going to be really good when they start getting those 4/8s and stuff like that and such. So, yeah, I don't want to overboard here. Let's try to mix it up so we can maybe get a little luckier with our draw. Well, the superstitious shuffle. It's weird having a whole week off, though. I'm so used to being a working man now, and crazy. Whoa. Why did this do this? Okay. Is every game going to start like that? Maybe. Yes. All right, we learned our lesson. We'll mulligan the one lander. We'll keep this one, throwing back a land. And we've got double bargain and dispute, so I'm going to lean on that vault. We'll keep, or actually, I'm gonna throw that out. We've got 12 draw effects, and 3 of them were in our hand, so that's a little crazy. Just in case they've got a Gorilla Shaman, I don't want that vault to maroon us on one. So I used to run Flame Slash in my elf list, believe it or not. One of our elf primers on YouTube. That was I needed spot removal, and I was like, well, why not go big? So he might have come to the same conclusion. Woo! All right. Coming on out with the Perilous Myr. Go ahead and kill it. All right, well. Get him for 3 next turn and get a Bone Picker. I'd really like to see Village Rites here so that we can kill the Bone Picker if they have an arrow for it. Some sort of nastiness. Well, this will work out too. If he blocks, they'll still take 2, and then we can Bone Picker with backup. Whoa, or we can double Bone Picker. That'll be really nice. Woo! I'm shocked that they printed that. Vastly underplayed. They're probably going to block here, I would think. No? Because they've seen the list of like, oh, we just kill everything that moves. But, all right. Well, we'll do that then. Boom, boom. And I believe this is going to be more valuable here because we're going to get a token out of the deal. We don't care about that little dude. Our Crypt Rat will pick it up later. Okay, we have that for food. Well, let's just hope they don't have any removal. If so, I'll need double removal to keep up with this draw. Pop, 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 pop. Okay. Oh, I love this draw. No, our Bone Pickers are going to be able to attack. That's a very fast clock. Did we scare them away with all of our... So the cool thing about... We're running Pit Keeper, which is a creature in and of itself. So if they eat our yard, not that big of a deal. And also with Unearth, they eat your yard, you cycle it. So if they go really heavy on that plan, and you've always got outs, you know what I'm saying? All right, we'll attack here. I don't think there's really much to do. I think probably best play here is to cycle Unearth. I want to keep up Bargain so we can gain 4 life once they are able to kill our dude. Good things happen when we draw more than 1 land in the first 6 turns. I can't believe how close that last game was, and this is a super good list. We've all seen we're going to cycle this. Okay, that's interesting. More of the same. Yeah, I would never run Vampire Sovereign in a list like this. Just could definitely support it, but I don't want to be staring at it and waiting to cast it. All right. Oh, they're probably going to find the removal here. If that's what you were talking about. Probably not. Man, I had such a slow week at work. It kind of scary week, you know, where you just are like, a few too many of those lately where you're just like, geez, how much more can we take of this? I think I'm going to Rechner's Bargain my own swamp out of sheer tempo if nothing improves here. Oh, I see. Flame Slash, yeah. Oh, good point. Those are excellent points. All right. Yep. I'm going to pay this, and we're going to kill this instead. And draw 2 lands. Hey, we saved 2 turns of reckless crap. We'll do this here. Attack like this. I think we'll shoot. Yeah. No, we can't do that. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could. Thinking shoot Bone Picker here. We have them dead regardless, right? If they have something like a Cannonade, they've got a 3 toughness critter. I want to be able to I want to be able to answer back. I think I'm going to sit here, guys. I obviously could go all out and have 9 damage on the board next turn, but you know, some mass removal effect will really take us out, so I haven't given Flame Slash's art much look, but I don't remember being too impressed by it. But I'll probably agree with you there, Shiraz. Yeah, I tend to stick with original artwork just because I get so used to it being the case. So, all right. That one felt pretty easy. Funny things happen when your mana shows up, right? Again, I don't think we need much along the way of removal here. It's like those rare crusher builds or walls and stuff like that because we're killing a lot of stuff and mostly for walls, really specific critters. But so many times Fleshbag just gets there. And if you're ever playing this list, make sure to discard this, or if you play Fleshbag, almost 99% of the time you want to target itself because you have so many Unearth effects that you can just, for 1 mana, you can have an Edict effect. A lot of people don't get that. They see the 3 and they get, you know, even though the board might be swamped with critters. I really wish I didn't care about Bone Picker. It's like the only, that and Crypt Rats, the only creatures I care about in this list. Everything else, it's like, please kill it. I ate something funny. It's stuck in my throat. 4 mana, way too much. We're going to mulligan. Boy, we had a 1 mana hand and then too much later. So we'll mulligan this. This is beautiful. We'll keep this. Throwing back Pit Keeper for sure. Although he'll get there pretty quickly. We'll keep this. Last time I played this, I had so many emails of people going like, I've never seen that creature before. You know what? I'm going to get rid of a Fiend. We'll keep our little Pit Keeper friend. They're like, that's amazing. Yeah, well, play Magic long enough, you start to become kind of an encyclopedia of like lost toys. People are like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, remember this? All right, always lean on the Ghasts because if they do want to make a bad move and try to kill it, we get acceleration out of the deal and they go down a card. So good times. You could easily play the Scorpions in this list. I just like being able to mess with fairies. I mean, between the Ghasts, the Footlight Fiends, and the Crypt Rats, it's a nightmare for fairies to stay available. Stay relevant. Stay whatever. We can kind of overextend here with the Ghasts just because if they do have a sweep effect, whether it's an Electricity or a Cannonade or probably feed the, or what is that? And the Festivities or the new one from Lord of the Rings. We don't care because it'll help accelerate our mana. So we'll do this, and if they don't, then we just draw one of our 12 draw cards and we kill it anyway. We got a Black Lightning Bolt every turn if they don't do something here. Yeah, 5 p.m. the witching hour, right, Shiraz? I was there yesterday. Got off work, jumped online. I was like, what could make this a little funner? Maybe if my dexterity was affected via libation. They have a drink out here in the States you can buy. They're starting to sell really well mixed like bar drinks in the can, and it's by the name Cutwater, Cutwater. Highly recommend if you're of the of that persuasion and of age. It's incredible. I had them camping when we were in Joshua Tree. A good buddy of mine, I did the voiceover for Bottle Gnome Bourbon and Thermo Alchemist Searing Spice, our little spoof MTG ads. He had those, and I was like, what? And it felt like I was at a bar. I was like, whoa, that's a really good mix. All right. Wow. We're just getting all the ghasts. We got ghast for days. I'm just going to play a swarm game here, guys. I'm going to drop both because, again, they do that. We're going to just get crazy acceleration out of this. It's kind of not, if you have a good spell, it's kind of not worth killing stuff, right? It's like, but at some point you have to because you're starting to get nibbled away. I mean, this is a 3-turn clock with the help of Fiend's ability. I don't understand people's fascination with Guildsworn Prowler. That's a pretty good card, but it's like, all right, this is fine. I get tons of acceleration. Our pit keeper is going to, oops. Let's make tokens and lots of them. Woo! I like that it's a rogue. I play it in a version of black, but that tiny bit of card advantage and that huge sticker price. I know it's gone way down in value. Not sure why. I just look at any list that I have that could run it, and I'm like, maybe. Not too thrilled with it. Okay, let's do this to here. This is definitely going to get back stuff. We'll get back another. Do we want to go ghast here? I guess we'll get ghast. Get ghast. Yes. And boy, I don't know about going all in here. I will, though. The most reckless use of tokens you've ever seen. Nothing's died this turn. I'd rather play one for this, but I want to keep tempo on our side. They're stuck at 2 mana like we were in game 1, and with 1 mana, let's see if we can shut the door. Oh, I know all the benefits of it in the optimal scenario when it happens. I just definitely don't think it's worth that price tag. All right, we really want one of our kill cards so we can trip gas, get rid of that blocker, and swing in for 5 here. No, I don't want to trade that. Damn it. I'll cower back. Love when pit keeper's in the yard because 1 Unearth is double Unearth, if you get my drift. Well, they must have any, you know what? That being said, if they don't, if we draw like a Village Rites or something, I'm going to attack first and then use our ghast as a trigger for, there we go. Okay, so now I can look reckless, smash on in. If they use an Ephemerate, I have an answer for it. Oh, they don't have it. All right. Well, that's interesting. Or do they? Okay. So first things first, we'll still get in for 1. But we'll sacrifice this. It's not going to do any damage anyway. We might as well kill that. Draw some cards out of the deal. Boink. Okay. Play the land, play the Myr, and turn off a little bit of the ability of Prismatic here because we have artifact creatures. Yeah, the Prowler with Dispute effect draws 3. Yeah, and it costs you the Prowler and the Dispute. So you're really up 1 card. Interesting. But I get it. The math gets silly. Interesting choice. They must have another flyer here. Or just a Firebolt style thing. They're on to our game plan. That's what's going on. All right, here we go. I mean, what's that? There's that sun one that does the thing. All right, that kind of blows. We do too here. If we get any sort of our recursion engine going on here, we'll be able to pick keeper back unearth the pick keeper and get back a bone picker, that sort of thing. Some Boros lists go that route where they're my old refrain, draw cards that say draw more cards. At some point you have to draw some meat. That's why I really like this list, because the opponent's a little dead in the water, or they're just flooded or whatever. You can pick them apart pretty quickly. If they have any sort of answer, you just kind of it feels like you're more than one for wanting them when you kill your own creature and draw a card, because they're out of card too. So it is very interesting when that goes down. Oh boy, not a good time to draw land here. Outside of Village Rites, I was considering losing Bargain for the new Village Rites, so I could lower the curve even further. But there's just too many times I can stay alive with picking off my own bone picker, doing that sort of thing. We're not going to be able to attack, so I might as well block here. If I draw Village Rites, though, I really hate this play, so I'm not going to do it. We'll wait a turn or two. Don't think we're going to be able to pull this one off. They're at 10 life. If they knew the list, they'd probably grab the pick keeper, but I don't blame them for gaining life. Very strange play with the Journey to Nowhere. I don't think I would do that. Oh, good call. Good call. Yeah, that really neuters us. Yeah, and now we're flooded. It would have been neat if that game one went a little more fair, because this is a pretty close. It was like we got really unlucky. They wiped us out. Then we wiped them out. And then this. Now we're getting flooded. Which is, if we were screwed every game, it would make a little bit of sense, right? But that's tends to be the way of things. Okay, well, it's time to block now. Boop. We'll do 2. Not sure what can save us here. That's our last pick keeper, too. If you remember, we took it out, I believe. Pick keeper, yep. I run 2 main, and sometimes I take 1 out. Prismatic that, sucker. Woo! Maybe we can just draw 4 Unearths into Perilous Myr, and we'll get there with that, right? Just keep blocking. Yeah. All right, we're gonna pack this one in here, guys. Darn it. That first game was frustrating. We should have been able to pull that off. And that's a damn fine list. So you can see, even with a really bad hand, this deck's pretty darn competitive. Able to get there quite a bit. Like I said, there's just so much hidden removal in this list. You look past the Crypt Rats and the Fleshbag, your Bone Picker can trade with anything. And then we've got Footlight Fiends, Perilous Myr, and Shambling Ghast to pick up any little stuff. There's a lot of hidden sneakiness in this list, so dig it. Dig it, dig it, dig it. And lots of draw. It's just we've got to have more than 1 land sometimes. Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to try to say that name. I'm going to call you Iya. That's awesome. You took it to it. Yeah, I have it built in paper, too, and if I'm into it, I don't know what that is. We've talked about that in the show before, where if you're playing a list and you're not feeling it, you can technically not make any bad moves or errors, and you'll just have a bit lame day and you'll lose. And then yet you can make 3 or 4 errors, be fired up and like, oh man, this deck rules, and you'll just seem to win every game. That's how I play anyway. Yeah, a lot of times those pyroclasm effects, as we saw, it's not that big of a setback. It's obviously a bit of a tempo loss, and the right play for them when they're taking. I think we had all 4 of these out in that one game. This can overwhelm them. So never really looked at this artwork before. This is an homage to what's that snail with the multiple eyes? I forgot. More on that in a bit. Does anybody remember? Okay, this is a pretty good hand. We've got a lot of late creatures, though. But I'm going to mulligan this, believe it or not. Too many late cards. I'll keep this one. Late meaning like turn 3 or 4. I want to be doing stuff almost immediately. Something's going to die. We could kill that. I'll get rid of a dispute actually here. Keep our options open. We'll lead off with the not the best hand, that's for sure. You know, if we had one that last hand, if we had one way to kill our own dude, that or a one drop, that would have been a keeper. But hexproof and such wasn't in the format. I'd consider maybe losing a rat and 2 fleshbags, and maybe even the staff for like, you know, serrated scorpions. Another creature we don't really care if it dies. I believe this might be ramp, given the color ratio we're staring across from. Woo! Alrighty, don't want to see that, so I don't really care if it dies, so I'm just going to throw it out there. It's just a black bear at this point. Soon to be a black lightning bolt if things don't go better. But we'll at least be able to gain 3 life, draw 2 cards. We can always unearth it later. Alrighty. Well, let's see if it survives. We've got an answer in Village Rites if they want to play the removal game. Okay, I guess they don't got it. Considering killing this just because, but I guess we'll wait. Try to get a card out of them at least. Awkward. Trying both last hand and this hand, a lot of our late game stuff. I know I do play all 4 rats, but I don't consider Bone Picker late game unless I don't have any 1-drop sacrifice effects, and that we do not. So, whoa! What's this all about? I have to read a card. When it enters the battlefield, detain a permanent. Yeah, I'll beat you to it. Let's just kill it. We'll gain some life, draw some cards, get some tempo up. Might have wanted to wait on our turn. If I had a Bone Picker in hand, I would have considered that, but all right. Made that decision correctly. Jeez, oh. That's a lot of mana. Let me see here. We could just turn that on. I'll wait on the flesh bag here. I'll just equip this up. Lifestaff, just a little bit more aggro punch, and it just keeps coming. We have such volume in this list that fangs, multiple fangs, unless you know you're going against red, just doesn't make too much sense. It's a little too much investment. Whereas that Lifestaff, you look up and just all of a sudden you're like, wow, that gave me 12 life last game, you know, that sort of thing. And it gives you that little attack bonus. It's also nice for baiting. Like it could have happened last turn, you know, you go to equip it, they don't want it, so they burn a removal spell, and then you Village Rites or whatever. So it's a nice way of egging on your opponent. I remember when this came out, I was like, is that playable? And about 4 nanoseconds later, I'm like, no. Detain. What on earth are we playing against? I like how they let us untap and attack here. This is fun. We'll do this. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, anything flying in draft is good, right? I don't think we're going to have to worry about our life totals here. So let me Village Rites this. So even if they counter this, the Myr's ability still goes through. And this way, if they have some sort of blink effect, we can not be affected by it. I think that's just a creature, right? Nope, it's a permanent. A little better than we thought. Okay. We get this out of the deal, boys and girls. 2 critters in the yard. I've got 2 unearths. I'm going to cast it on the Perilous Myr here. And I'm just going to keep up bargain. Yeah, we'll just do that. That'd be funny if they're on spell snare this whole, or I mean spell pierce this whole time. It's like, are they looking at my hand? What's going on? Interesting. All right. Gotta get more critters in the yard. What's going on? Breadman Brett. Woo! Unite. I like the energy. Good times. No idea. Next week I'll probably play a fan list just because... Uh-oh, that's a big problem. Big problem. We've got the answer in our fleshy, though. And we can just do that. I'm considering killing it now, or trying to, so that if they have any sort of effects, we'll be able to get out of this either way. Let me try that. We'll respect that, see if they have a spell for this. If not, we'll just draw 2 cards. Oh, all right, cool. It just dies. Fleshbag be damned. There's our crew. I was wondering when they're going to show up. Chat is being twitchy. I like it. We'll bring this out. I think I'm going to stick with the same plan here. I'm going to keep up Reknar's bargain in response to any sort of shenanigans, which will probably trip regardless, and go from there. I've got 2 critters in the yard, so we're pretty close to unearthing the pit keeper and having that little fun cycle happen here. Well, that's interesting. What's he going to take out? Oh, hey, look at that. Sometimes it seems like I know what I'm doing. We will get rid of this. Boink, gain a life. Keep it in the yard. He's like, geez, anything I interact with, he just draws 2 off of it. That's the tricky part. You can get a little reckless with this list and overrun your opponent, which is sometimes the right play, the tempo play, but oftentimes if you just wait for them to interact with any permanent and you do that, you are truly drawing 2 cards. Because the dispute for their card that targeted the thing, and then it's just all gravy after that. And then especially if you are able to do 1 damage or get a token out of the deal, come on. Good times, right? I don't want that to be blinked. So, let's do this. Fleshbag. Okay. This is one of the few times I might actually choose something different. I'll choose this. I usually always kill the fleshbag, but when I can just bargain it here. The 1 damage still gets through with the Footlight Fiend's ability, playing it this way, and this. I want stuff to be in the yard here. We've got 1, 2, 3 creatures in the yard. I remember Lord of the Pit. My goodness. It's one of those dining room table discussions where you're just like, wait, what? On your upkeep. It's like, I spent my whole game and everything getting this thing out, and now it's like fighting me? It made a lot of sense. I love when magic lore makes white evil, like because of just such totalitarianism and like our way is right, and just that absolute mindset. Saw a lot of that during COVID out here in the States for sure. It's funny how no one's apologizing for any of that now. They're just like, oh, that wasn't me. Woo! I got all kinds of pretty creatures. I'm getting greedy here, guys. I want to do... I'll dispute this. Just wanting to get some tokens out of the deal here. I'll stick on that Unearth. I've already played 1. There's another. That always feels good. Alrighty, let's do the thing. Julie, we'll cast the Pit Keeper. Bloop. When the Pit Keeper comes into play, we're going to get anything we want. You like having 4 cards in your hand? Make it 15. Woo! All right, bit of an exaggeration, but... Oh, did I screw that up? I did. I swore we had enough. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he was the 4th. I'm a fool. Let's see here. Could unearth that. I really hate doing that. Watch this. We'll kill this. Punt, punt. For sure. That there was a punt, folks. Boop. All right. I'm not going to attack here. They're just going to block. I'd rather be able to bargain and then truly use our Pit Keeper. My goodness. That was embarrassing. I had a play like that yesterday, but I did have a few in me at that point, so you could blame the libation at that point. Alrighty. I don't really have a response for that, so this encourages them to attack instead of sit back and block, which I like. So remember when this came out, everybody was like, oh, you should probably play like 2 of these in every white build. I'm like, nope. Interesting art. It's when everybody has a attack plan against this list, it gains enough life because of Lifestaff and the bargains main that a lot of times they're stuck with a situation like this where it's like, okay, yeah, you're hitting for a lot and happens once, but the best play is usually to just sit back and not do much. We'll do this. I'm getting so draw happy here with these multiple bargains. I'm still going to do it though, rather than taking one here. Make another token. Bop, 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 bop. We'll be almost 10 cards up on our opponent who's playing blue. We've seen 2 Behold the Multiverse. So they're definitely drawing cards and wilds. Some engines going on there. Can we EOT? Not worth it. All right. Like seeing the swamp. First things first, we'll attack. Yeah. Where are our bone pickers? So now I can dispute. So we'll dispute this. Then we'll unearth the Pit Keeper to get back you know who. Unearth Pit Keeper. Boop. He'll come back and get our friend back. Come on back, Fleshbaggy. Who needs removal when you have untargeted perfect removal on a stick? Do you want to use the ability? This time, yes, because we can. We'll play the Marauder. I think I'm going to kill Pit Keeper. This is very unlikely. I usually always kill the Fleshbag here. Uh-oh. I got a way to stop this from happening? What's happening? Whoa. Damn. Oh, and that will do the thing, huh? Unless they pay 4? Okay, well, I'll pay 4. Boop. All right. Because of this scenario, I'm actually going to kill the Pit Keeper. Because that's a 2-for-1 with the Unearth that's already in our hand. And we've seen some counter magic, so let's just do it now. I'll cast Pit Keeper again. Boop. And we will get back. I guess the Myr's our best call here. Might have been a bit reckless there, but we'll see. Yes. Do you want to do this good thing? Let me think about it. Trying to get back the comments of the week. If you've seen the last 2 or 3 shows at the very top of the show to make sure my feed's going through, I always like to, share the love. If somebody gave us some love online and get your name in lights. I was hoping Little Fight was going to join us today because we were chatting so much yesterday, and he's a busy man about to move from South Carolina out to Texas. Start a whole new life. Whole new everything. It's a big change of He's got a family business out there, and he's taken over, and seems to be a very cool turn of the page. So if you're an old fan of the show, remember our buddy Little Fight, also known as Chris. Playing a lot of Diablo lately, and yeah, wish him the best. So excited for my buddy. If it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be propaganda, because he showed me how to play Magic. I'm sure I would have found it eventually, but who's to say what that decision tree would look like, right? Wouldn't that be something? As much as I like games and everything, I just never stumbled upon Magic. Remember the first time I saw it, it was pretty messy, and it was like an 8-player game, and there was just, everybody had like 50 different cards in front of them, and I was like, I am not smart enough for this. Cheers to Little Fight. Woo! Okay. Well, we can take that down if we want to. Take that down if you want to. Let's bring this out. This out. And we'll just attack here. We don't care what he does. If he blocks the Pit Keeper, we just hit the Ghast here. Hit the Ghast. Hit the gas! Woo! And we'll make him be able to die this time. And we'll draw 2 cards out of the deal. We're up 10 cards now on a blue-based opponent. Never thought I would use 4 treasure tokens to pay for a syncopate. That was pretty cool. Bonk. All right, we've seen counter magic. I've got 2 Crypt Rats. This is the scenario where I play this blindly. Just get one in the yard. They got a counter spell. They're probably eager to use it here. And it's a free duress. Yep, but they really like syncopate, huh? We'll say no to that. That is great artwork. I love the attitude. They're just like, shut up. Like, not even looking at the spell. Just like, that's pretty badass mage right there. Meaningless. Even the quote, yeah. I remember when this came out, I was like, that's a home run with flavor and the art. That is just gorgeous. Is that Seb? Tommy Arnold? I don't think I've ever said that artist out loud. Good for them. No. It is set. Yeah, that syncopate. That'd be where the bar would be set for if I was art director at Magic, man. I've never been a fan of any, except for my vault, which I think has been exiled, right? Yeah. This is a pretty cool artifact land. These are just cartoony looking. I've never been a fan of them, especially lands that got to put such a precedent on those, like with John Avon and stuff. It's like you spend so much time looking at this stuff, and that would be, my focus would be hardcore on those. Well, this is interesting. Okay. Well, the prowess is going to make this play a non-starter, so we'll just shoot them in the face. Okay. And even the life gain abilities, we have so many ways to sacrifice our own critters that usually we can get in the way of a seeker, draw 2 cards, shoot them for 2, and they don't gain any life. Might not happen here, though. All right, syncopate. Interesting. Woo. Alrighty. I'd rather it be something else, but whatever. You know what? Let's run into them here because we might just be able to win if they don't block. Seen 2 syncopates. It suggests they have more than that. I think we'll play rats blindly here. Hoping it doesn't get syncopated because this just wins the game here. Boop. Do we win? We do. Well, maybe we don't. Let me play this as insurance. That way we'll at least get 2 in for sure. Of course, they could have Weather the Storm here, so let's wait. And now we'll do it. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boom. Done. Sometimes I bluff with 0 there, but... Alright. Yeah, technically probably should have done that, but... Alright. It's a long game. Okay. I like the 1 fangs. Don't think we're going to have enough stuff dying here. It seems like we're the aggro list here, so Probably go like that. Given the colors, seems like Debt to the Kami might be a good call. Saw some flyers. What am I going to really want to see? You know what? I'm just going to roll this one back, guys. There's a lot of lists. This is just kind of optimal against just the way there. So, and I'll be honest, Mind Stab Throw, if I'm playing by myself, that's fine with the multiple activations. But so many, I get in so many errors with that. Popping for 0 is no problem, and it tricks a lot of people. But there's just been so many times I've misclicked on that, and I'm like, oh wait. But yeah, it is a great way to get around prismatic strands, especially multiple ones of them. It's just like, deet, 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 deet. You can just put one on the stack, one on the stack, one on the stack. See what they activate. Felt pretty good there, especially with Perilous Myr there. Perilous Myr. If I was going to make any changes, it would be kind of neat. Maybe lose a staff. I really like having the 8 rat package, but maybe the fangs, the staff, and for like 2 serrated scorpions. I was so close to making this list. I had them in some of the other versions of it, but for right now, not good enough. Back of the line. I like this. We've got a bargain of the Reckoning Persuasion. We'll keep. Boop. Yeah. That 10-minute down game. There's the cartoon land. Okay. And I think we rely on the graveyard, but like I've already noted, not enough to where it's usually worth getting rid of stuff. Like Pitkeeper can still attack, and like I said earlier, you can still cycle Unearth, which is why I really prefer it. Now, given that we do flood sometimes, I was thinking last night, wouldn't it be something to play like 4 Blood Fountains instead of 4 Unearths, but that little EOT. But the trick of Unearth, though, is that it does just work immediately, right? I mean, there's a lot of scenarios where you have a Crypt Rat in there, and you've got, if you cast it, you wouldn't have enough to finish your opponent that turn, or for it to be that great of a play. But it really can be when you're able to Unearth. I mean, paying 1 mana for the best creature in Pauper, or one of the, is pretty insane. Tempo pinches sometimes, as you've seen already. I'll unearth something that costs 1. It's very suboptimal, but sometimes you just want to keep the pressure up. Like now, our opponent's really hurting for mana, and so we're going to go for it here. Let's go like this. Let me do... Let's do this in case we draw another Bone Picker. We'll be able to throw them both out there. But did I miss a Bone Picker play? I might have. Apologies if that's the case. We'll throw this out. And sure, let's throw this out. Boop. I'm not against Unexpected Fangsing a Bone Picker. Darn it. Would have been really nice to have a Reckner's Bargain effect there, but whatever. We still drew 2 cards. Bargain sale. Instant. Target opponent gains control of creature you control. Draw 2 cards. I like it. It'd almost be your typical red card, right? All those... there are so many of those theft cards in red. Always blows me away. Just the signal to noise ratio on that is just so high now. It's like, God, hasn't somebody made something? We're really feeling a power dump here as far as like only nibbling at them for 2. I don't want to throw out a Marauder. I'd rather that take out a quality creature here, but I'm tempted. Let's instead just throw out a rat in the case that we can put a fangs on it. That's always a good time. I don't know. You think Marauder here? We've already got 1 in hand. Let's try it. I'll break the rules a little bit. We've already hit for 1. Okay. Always yield. Let's take out our Myr. 2 more damage. And we attack for 2, and then we hit for 2. So all of a sudden, we're getting there. Apologies, it has been a spell since we have played this list. Like I said at the top of the show, we get probably one of the most requested ones I get. And they're like, when are you going to play that again? I'm like, hey, believe me, I love playing it. One of my favorites. My wife got me this candle a long time ago. It says mistletoe on it. It smells like eucalyptus, and I am just a big fan of that smell. So I don't have much of a sense of smell, so I take it where I can get it. So no, it's not smelling salts or some sort of drug. It's just a candle. All right. Well, we don't need that, do we? And are we walking into a trap? We shall see. Attack. I'll save that fangs for the first word on it. Unexpected. We'll try to keep it that way. Blue hasn't shown up. I think I'm just going to throw out the rat again. Rat-a-tat. I think if they had removal, they'd probably try to take that Marauder out. So the sort of list, too, people see it and they go, why do you have Crypt Rats in there? Because it kills all your creatures. I'm just like, find another game. It's like, yeah, the second you play it, you have to kill all your stuff. Just that line of thinking always makes me giggle on the inside. Because of this. All right. They're doing what happened to us in game 1, right? I think we just win here. I think if we kill everything, that Footlight Fiend does the last bit of damage, if I'm not mistaken, right? I haven't really... look. Rats is best Pauper deck. I agree. Yeah. There's 5. Look closely, folks. The show is about to begin. Whoop. Here's 4. But how will you do the last damage, you say? Try countering that. Woo! We'll do 4, and you'll do the last little bit. Bloop! Bonk, bonk, bonk. Aha! Wrath of Rats. It's over, baby. Okay. I'm going to go get some more coffee, guys. We're going to play some Pictionary, and I'll be right back right after this.
Get swamped with horror as PauperRBust Studios presents all the classic horror films from the legendary Pachuca brothers. First, the 70s masterpiece Howl from Beyond. Then, the fan favorite, The Faceless Butcher. Plus, the cult classic Undying Evil, followed by non-stop horror like Innocent Blood, Grim Harvest, Bloodseeker, Evil Presence, Twisted Abomination, and many more. A murderous mayhem marathon, Rakdos style. Don't miss PauperRBust's horror galore. Coming soon.
Now, if you're not totally disturbed, easily my favorite edit I've ever done for PauperRBust. We'll keep this. I've always been a huge horror fan, especially the campy ones. Shirazman is too, and between us, we did this. Is this a mirror match? What's going on? Yeah, Shirazman was instrumental in that one, finding me hundreds of old clips. Well, maybe 30. Yeah, there's so many references there, Bacon Master. Unfortunately, as the game ages, my commercials are aging too. Like Faceless Butcher we were talking about last week. It's like, does anybody know that card anymore? All right, this will be a long one. It looks like we're both of the same mindset here. This is a no block zone for sure. Come on over. I need to draw cards. Well, this is a pretty interesting play. I'll chance the early Bone Picker here. Why not? We've got a Pit Keeper in hand. We'll see what we can do. Go like this. You know, it might be more correct to play the rights here. Nah. I always like to extend the mana as far as it can go, just so that I can have those here. I sense a Village Rites play there. I'm not going to let him 2-for-1 me there. We'll just shoot him in the face. Do that. Pull this off. Bloop. Been nice top deck of land there, but oh well. Now we're 2 cards deeper. I sense a soul in search of answers. Deckard Cain. I hope to be the Deckard Cain of Pauper eventually. Yay, I was right. Corrupted Conviction. I have read that card hundreds of times because I always think I'm misreading it. It's like exactly like, what is going on? It's a mirror match. Somebody's onto us. Uh-oh. Glad we got a Crypt Rat. Alrighty. I think we attack and then rights and try to get our mana right. I don't know their hand, but it looks like we can win the end game with Pit Keeper on Earth, but we've got to get enough creatures in the yard to do that, so I'm going to just attack here. Yeah. All right, both go down. I'm just going to let this happen. That's fine. Boy, this feels really lackluster. You could technically, Unearth the Footlight Fiend, draw. That might be the right play for the way our mana is shaking out here. I hate doing this, but let me try that. Oops. We're in instant land here. Hold on. Okay. Let's unearth this. Don't try this at home, kids. This is like desperation play because I don't want to fall behind in our mana deployment here, but I'll risk it. I'm still going to shoot that. Well, probably should have taken that out because they didn't have access to black right there, but whatever. Stay a while and listen. Wow. Deck does not want us on lands. Look at that. You imagine if we didn't have these draw effects? That would have been 5 turns of staring at 2 lands. I don't really need much more than that, but yeah. Just give us a fair shake, deck. Come on. That Rats is going to go crazy if we can get some mana out. This is a kind of a similar style list, but it cares about its creatures, I'm assuming, with the exception of the Ghast and the plant tokens. Oh, yeah. Sense of Soul in Search of Answer ended up being Diablo, didn't it? Oh, man. What an ugly, ugly hand. This is just gross. We've got 2 Pit Keepers. I'm just going to play one so I can block. If they want to kill it, go for it. Oh, yeah. Dark Ritual definitely has a spot. In fact, just the other day I was making a black infect list that creature base that was utilized those. And every once in a while you'll see that black land destruction list with the Dark Rituals main. Good God, that thing can have such degenerate draws. I hate that we're going to lose this first game. And it's just because of not drawing mana. There are plenty of times, too. I've had versions, I think, about a year back where I ran 18 lands to try to prevent stuff like this. Because one of the only times this deck falters, like any deck, is if you just have those horrific bad draws like this. And it's happening. There's nothing wrong with the style of build across from us. A lot of time, maybe it's more your style. If I'm sacking stuff, I don't want to really care about anything. I just want everything to be fodder. Eventually, the removal does give, though, and these sort of strategies become a thing. So I'm going to block. I know they have that little trip trick. That's fine. But I'm trying to stay alive and get more stuff in my yard. Now I'll have 3 creatures in the yard. That Crypt Rats is looking pretty out of reach as far as being able to clear the board, unless we can unearth it and draw a whole lot of lands in the meantime. We're not going to win this game. We go 1, 2, 3. There's a small chance we can pull this off. We're going to be taking 7, 10, 12 next turn. Nah, we're just going to go to the next game. There's a world where I can rat for 1 if it gets through unscathed and start getting in a ton of life gain effects there, but we'll throw that one back. Not let them know what we're up against. There's an L. Let's go to the sideboard, in which we will find... We might want to find some removal here. That's going to be a bit useless. C4, watch a lot of YouTube. Good to catch you live. Thanks for joining us. Nice and live here with us all. All right, let's bring in a Lifestaff. Maybe lose one of the keepers. Being black, they're probably going to have a little bit more of the hate. Fleshbag's probably going to be a little underwhelming in this matchup, but I don't want to lose them all together because they might be sacrificing their tokens to things, and then we can get in one big swing. What else? Yeah, I like these a lot. Let's bring these up and down. Go like that. Let's try this on for size. Have a question about playing using MTGO? Yeah, sure. Ask the chat too. Between us all, we'll probably have an answer for you there, C4. It reminds me of a droid name like in Star Wars. C4, but it's spelled all like it isn't C4 or like the explosive. It's just C4. You want to play first? Yes, I do. All right. We have one of these, and it showed up in our opener. I'm going to mulligan this, guys. All right, we'll keep this one. Oh, that's nice to have. We didn't see too much removal. I'll throw back a Fiend here. I want to keep our little combo online since it's so creature heavy here. So, weird question about MTGO. How would I actually cast spells in upkeep without paying their mana costs? Like Ephemerate. Oh, that's all about the stops. I think if you're asking for the timing of it. Help him out, chat. I'm busy playing a game. If you want my specific opinion, you can always send it pauperagenda@gmail.com. I'll try to get back to you within a couple of days. Of course, I am on vacation all next week, so if anybody's emailing me, it might be you might feel like I'm ignoring you. That is not my intention. Apologies for the glare of my head if it's a little extreme today. I just freshly shaved my head, so always feels good when it's kind of a warmer day. Perfect way to stay cool quickly. Alrighty, let's attack, sack, before that thing gets too big. There's a lot of reasons to kill that. A lot of the synergy in that list is based on that too, so I don't mind going down a card here. We'll do this, kill this. Say okay with this. And I'm just going to keep tempo up. We're going to pay red and really confuse them. So I think what you guys are talking about in chat, you can also click right up here on the upkeep. If you have something there, it'll always ask you before it proceeds. That's a good time. Come on, Crypt Rats. If I get an Unearth here, it'd be optimal. All right. All right. I like seeing that. If we go to a game 3, remind me to bring in all the tragic slips. Those feel incredible right about now. I'll sit back. I want to see if they have any goods here. I'm going to play a blind rat. removal. No Shambling Ghast. No nothing. Okay, that's great. Hopefully we can do the thing. What's the thing? It's Unexpected Fangs on a Crypt Rat. We've already seen it once today. Blink and you might miss it, folks. I like when evil cards can be playful. It's like true glee. All right. Do they have a 1 mana something or other? Let's hope we don't find out. Fangs! We can always bargain it. Get our critters back, sort of thing. Let's attack with the Footlight Fiend. Yeah, probably. That's fine. Watch my life total, folks. Don't blink. Here we go. Whoop. See, done. Watch, folks, as the life totals miraculously switch around. Act quickly and you'll get a second offer. I can take out that feeder with the tragic slip. Not sure I want to do that just yet. They might really overextend next turn too and sack everything to the feeder. Oh, interesting. All right. So that'll live. It prevents us from gaining the life for that damage, so that kind of sucks. We're going to nab the Infiltrator? No! They both survive. Or do they? Footlight Fiend, I'll see to that. I can technically kill them both. Let's take this dude out. And then we'll just take the other one out. Gonna have a lot of counters to get over 13-13 negative. We're naked here, but 25-17. The bargain on the stack. Feeling all right. Do it again. Oh, please, do it again. Yeah, against a swarm strategy, a Unexpected Fangs rat is pretty nasty. All right. Can we pull it off, folks? Remember I said to remind me, so I'll remind myself. We did that. I guess we'll take out the Marauder. I do like having those, though. All right. I'll take out a Marauder. Let's do it this way. I want to keep my curve so I don't get completely ruined there, but this feels pretty good. Finally got my old glasses back. Had my prescription changed. They made them reading glasses, and I was like, no, I'm on the computer all the time. I need them there, and I almost don't need them. It's just mostly for glare. It's like a 1% prescription. It's kind of a waste of money, but we have really good insurance, so I was like, why not? I'm on the computer all the time, professionally and for playtime, so probably too much. Oh, we've seen these kind of hands before, like the tempting little devil, the Footlight Fiend on our shoulder. We will mulligan. Not even going to look. I just see one land. We'll keep this one. Much better. I'll keep these guys. We'll keep this. Don't really have to worry about. We'll do that just because we've got Ghast and Dispute. We'll say done. And hope for the best. Right about now is usually when the OBS has those issues. So hopefully, knock on wood, everything goes smooth today. Did quite a bit of maintenance and such. So hopefully whatever goes to the machine was there, I fixed. Like I said at the top of the show, I know if you're having any sort of audio relay errors or something and you're a streamer, make sure to completely debilitate your web camera in the software. So it'll see it and then be like, oh, here's a mic. And it's like, well, I'm not even using it. And it would still conflict. So I hope that's the case. Percussive maintenance. That would be an awesome removal spell. What would that do? That's awesome. Well, we'll just attack here. The very obvious play. They can't block. We get in a free damage, and then we kill one of their heavy hitters. I hope it stays that way. I'll do this. Killing this. Losing all loss of tempo. And they're like mutagenic growth. Cool, cool. Yeah, we'll do the thing. I like paying red for this. It's goofy. Percussive maintenance. I'd like to see the art on that. That would be interesting. It sounds very goblin-esque, right? Like goblins are cleaning up something and destroying it, or using something incredibly loud, like a one of those wind blowers, but like a rocket engine or something like that. I don't know. Am I alone in that? Seems like a goblin card. Springleaf drums, yeah. Uh-oh. Fleshbag just lost a lot of value. Taking out our dudes. What's going on here? Yeah. Considering paying the piper there and just letting that dude die, but oh well. Bone Picker's not going to last long with Perilous Myr in the house. I really think that is a horribly underplayed card. Bring this out. This could be a close one. Mana really needs to start showing up here. We draw like a Fangs. This will be over quick. I probably should have brought in the other Fangs. This is such a blowout just to even stay alive sometimes. You can be a very little life, trip that for one every turn, and all of a sudden you're just in the 30s, just like that. Again, outside of exiling effect, Crypt Rats just really shines in these matchups, but got to get there. Glad we got rid of our plan there. I'll lose a dispute. I'm liking this. We'll kill this and the Bone Picker. They probably have a Village Rites here or something of that suspect. Let's go like that. Do they have it? Nope. That is, you can't ask for much more card than that. Perilous Myr is so good. Dig it, dig it. All right, this is getting dire quickly. I think we just blind rat here. They kill it, that's fine. We'll just unearth it. Obviously, they'll have to trip the relic to stop that from happening, but not much else we can do here. Wiki Bear! Best emote ever. The off chance that Conan O'Brien would, or one of the writers would ever watch this stream and be like, what? Like, are we a meme now? It's like, well, in this tiny little population, you are. There's about 90 people that know what you're talking about. Love this. Crypt Rat available means our opponent might be just on a bunch of swamps or something. Copyright control, pay up. Them too, right? They used a real bear that probably had no business being on the end of those jokes. I often wonder if they get a letter for that too. Oh, that's awesome, Quadratic Hawk. I should have put some sort of propaganda branding on there, but it probably does ask or cause a lot of questions. So for this to wipe everything, we're going to have to take 6 this turn. Good grief. I don't think we're going to win this one, guys. We need to drop a swamp pop for 4, and that's just to stay alive because of the sacrificial Eldrazi effect keeping the Mortician Beetle alive. Okay, well, we got it. I don't have any life behind it. That kind of blows. Let's pop for 4. We'll do it for 0 first. See if they have any effects. Boom, 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 boom. Don't know if we're going to be able to wiggle out of this one. But our Fleshbag Marauder and Unearth will be very viable. I'm not quite sure Chimpskey, but it's one of my very favorites. In real life, it's even darker and grittier, and I have those too, so I just love, love, love that. That is a swamp. Just love it. Rats for 0, you sly dog. That's right. I can tell you that works a lot of times. Not gonna lie. Double Infiltrator. Well, we're gonna double Marauder. Take that. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent. Oh, they could do it with that too, so our Ghast is out of the question. We will Marauder, or we could we could just unearth the Crypt Rat, zap for 1. That would be a lot of fun. No, because then they would trip. We'll do the Marauder plan. Okay. Fleshbag, one of the grossest names ever. I guess that's all what all humans are in the end, right? Bags of flesh. It's a very Nietzsche way of looking at life, but pretty accurate. Gotta stay at 2 life here so that we can at least have that option to rats. Let's bring this back. If you're a fan of children's books and the little engine that could, this deck will remind you of that. There's a lot of games like this where you're in the single digits and it seems like, oh boy, this one's gone, and you look back and you're like, I won. Yep. A lot of water in us, that is for sure. Let's attack here. I'm not thrilled with 1 damage a turn here, so I'm going to pitch that. We'll attempt to, let's, just in case they have some sort of draw effect later. I don't think they have one now. I would have seen it. Cool. We've got options here. Let's do that. I've got to keep, it's such a nice bag of tricks right now. When you have a Crypt Rat and a Fleshbag at this stage of the game, those top deck creature builds, you can get the Fleshbag, or if they surprisingly all of a sudden they battle Screech and they have 4 tokens out, you can answer it. Then you are correct, Chimpskey. That is what it is. I like that you like my lands. I should probably mix it up a bit, but it's kind of a pain to do that. I'm never in the mood to not see these. I just wish it was like Seb McKinnon as the artist. Just a very hard to pronounce name. No offense, Wang. That's out there. All right. I'm going to try to keep tempo up here. And yeah, here we go. That's definitely the right call. Now we can gain some life and come clawing back. What do you think, chat? Sometimes I wonder if I should go back to my 18 land build. We've had 2 losses, 1 loss today, and it was from not drawing enough mana. That's kind of a pain. So we'll gain 2 life here, and we'll shoot down the Bone Picker. Who needs removal? Look at this. Drawing some cards. And going like this. All right, sure. I'll do this here. In case they have some sort of edict effect. Ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Come on, opponent. Pits from the depths of the pit. You're right, Mind Stab Throw. Yeah, it does it a lot. If Bargain wasn't a card, I think you would definitely need to have the Lifestaff main. But again, I get ready for red decks and I never see them. It's frustrating. Death Pits of Wrath. Oh, it's a real card? Very cool. Ba-dum. Fobby Bitcher. You. The Great Chessman. I never really liked Fisher's style. Brutally effective, I'll give him that, but lacked the creative flair a lot of times. It's very straightforward. Alrighty, there we go. Let's go on into the match number 4. Told ya, we come back from the depths of defeat, clawing back out of the swamps, out of the cellars, out of the muck, to bring you victory. Yeah, so obviously this is a good Rekner's Bargner target, the best one in the list if you're doing that. But because of the what do you call mana ratio on this list, I mean, you can technically think of these with Unearth as costing 1 mana. So it feels really weird to go up to 18 lands, but boy, sometimes it feels like that might be the right call. I know I have very simplistic ways of deducing board states, but that's how my mind works. What you gonna do? Hey, Crypt Rats, what are you doing over there? It is true, that is only 1 card, so we must have an opponent. Whenever the game does that little freeze up, that's what happens. Okay, except for the Pit Rats, Pit Keeper. We like this hand. It's a keeper. Woo! We'll keep this one. I think that's the first keep today. No, those come and go. Have them in my a lot of my blacklist, but not this one. Okay, definitely viable. It's just, I think when I was first really focused on this list, fairies, I was running in a lot of fairies, and while scorpions is nice, I like to be able to sacrifice stuff and kill fairies. I got a thing against fairies. Always leading with the Ghast, especially if this is what we think it is, land destruction. We might not have any swamps. So Village Rites could be a thing. Hi, VOTB. Perilous Myr is one of my favorite cards. I agree. It's always too much damage. Yep. That's so true. Exactly what VOTV said, if chat wants to read that. These little nibble cards, I like. There's so many ways to name them, but gosh, it's so true. You just, before you know it, you look up and you've done 5 or 6 damage, and then they finally kill it, and then it does 1 more or something, or 2 more in the case of the Myr. And so many people, you know, they're like, I need an answer for Guardian of the Guild pack, and I'm like, play Perilous Myr. You know, if instead of sitting there looking at a naked card for 8 turns until the perfect scenario comes up with, like a Terminate, for example. I know I like to bitch about that card because I think it's terrible. You have an active card that might be doing 5 or 6 damage, and then it blocks and kills the thing. Since I built the Hawk Tribal list since last stream, it's off meta, but fun. That is the point of all things, to be fun, right? Okay, in response to this, well, we've got another land. Don't have to get crazy. I'd rather attack here. Just considering rightsing the Ghast there, but if we draw another land here, it's not going to be a big problem. That's all they've got. We just don't have enough firepower if our Bone Picker doesn't show up here. Okay, that feels good. Let's attack here. Yeah. All right, we really need to find our Bone Pickers. Let's make a land. Drat. Can't do it right now. I was like, oh, just do it right now. It's like, no. Well, yeah, I guess I could have. If I top deck a Bone Picker, I'm going to be mad at myself. It's like, I'm out of mana. It's like, that makes mana, you jackass. Oh, don't duck yourself down. Quadratic Hawk. Usually simple brews are 1 card away from being great. Or a revisit when you don't have much invested. I find that to be very much the case. I'm going to throw the rat out there because we've got a Village Rites and we've got the Fangs. We're feeling good. They're not really playing removal colors. And thankfully, we're a little flooded. Wink, wink. So that acid moss isn't feeling much effect. I am happy to live in a universe, even though it's frustrating to have your lands blown up, where land destruction is in the top tiers, you know. Ramp is such a good deck. This list has a lot of fun with gates. So I can keep Sacred Cats off from gaining life with the Shambling Ghast and the Footlight Fiends and the Perilous Myrs. Again, that's why no Scorpion. This is ramp. And when I made this list a couple of years back, I did call it the best black deck, and I stand by that. I think it's just a fantastic option. We're going to be seeing a lot of big stuff, so we'll bring in all of these. I'm not quite sure if I want to bring in Takami. Probably not. Stuff's not really going to be dying too often. I could probably lose one of each of these. Maybe one rat. I like to keep those around usually, but we're not seeing too much swarm there. Yeah, I think I like this build. Let's try this out. Whoop. If you have an online account, Quadratic Hawk, you might want to relook because they just auto-loaded everyone's accounts with gates. A lot of people missed that little bulletin. This is a really good hand. We'll keep it. Again, I play 4 rats because when you need them, you really need them. That Golgotha, boom, boom, 6 tokens looking down. It's like trip for 1, you're back in the game. Or just, you know, somehow discard it, unearth it for 1, you're back in the game. Yo. Oh, Arena. Who plays Arena? Magic Online is like a really good like cup of coffee. Arena is like a slushy with like 8 flavors in it. That's visually, that's what it feels like to me. I'm just like, it's too loud, too obnoxious, too busy. I know I sound really old saying that, but it's enough to think about in this game. I don't need all these flashing lights and animations and whispering and then little avatars off to the side doing cartwheels and stuff. It's like, let's play the damn game. Love me a kamikaze says, well, hey, there we go, right? It makes the world go round. Everybody was like me, it'd be a really boring world. No variety. I like my coffee like I like this deck. All black. Are we blowing up stuff? Okay, that's mildly annoying. I do like this Simic build. I've seen this a few times. I'm not quite sure how I want to roll with this. Temporal Spring makes me a bit nervous to lead out a Bone Picker here, but I'm going to do it. We'll bring out Ghast. We'll get our tempo back with this. We'll make a land. I shouldn't say that for new players that might be watching. I'll get the wrong idea, right? And we'll play a picker and hope that they have used all their tempo there. I don't know. That's a good clock, and then we can start drawing stuff in the background. I totally agree, Mindstep Throw. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Last matchup coming up. Before that, we're going to go to some Innistrad trivia. I'll be right back.
Have I opened a magic pack before? Is that an actual question you're asking me right now?
Oh, we got a Bombadil. Hey, doll, merry doll, ring-a-dong-de-lo.
Oh, love that artwork. Gimli on a Magic the Gathering card.
I've seen this a million times in my head reading the books.
It is so perfect to see the two united.
Characters that I love and that I grew up with.
I get to play Lord of the Rings on my Magic cards.
It feels like a match made in nerd heaven.
And we're back. Let's see if we can find our last victim. Innistrad trivia there. Love the lore of that place. I have to admit, even as a huge Halloween fan, as you all know, that I definitely do think they stayed a little too long in Gothic Town back when Innistrad, and I forget the surrounding blocks around it, but it did feel like, okay, it's about time. And I know Kaladesh, that's the one that came out just bright and fluffy, and it was talk about your what was it called, the slushy with all the flavors in it. That's kind of what that felt like to me, but much needed. All right, let's keep this hand. My Pickkeeper really likes us today. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, here we go. I'm liking this. We'll bring this out, and this is our second choice. Always want to lead if you've got the zombie with that, because if it gets destroyed, it accelerates your mana. Footlight Fiend's a close second. One issue with watching your streams, putting on commercials is usually a good time to go get a drink, but you make your own commercials, so I have to sit and watch them. Oh, thank you, my step throw. That makes my weekend. Appreciate the love. Yeah, I'm trying to keep you stuck there. I'm not good for fitness. Stay in your seats, damn it. I know you probably stay for the commercials, leave for the gameplay. Thanks, Ross. Y'all too kind, my friends, too kind. Ooh, what to do? I want to get more value. I'm going to just lead off with a Fiend here. Should have paid red. Come on now. I can Rites EOT. I just want to be able to have rights for anything, as far as I don't want to lay that Myr out, even though it's going to cost them a turn, or probably a turn at this stage of the game. Kill my creature. I love getting that super value out of rights with Myr. That's the ultimate play. 1 mana, you do 2 damage, cost them a card, you draw 2 cards. A true 2 cards, as we discussed, because they're using a card to get rid of yours. So it nullifies that old equation. Named Chimpskey, I would make millions if I could. I've got 50 of them. Only so many ideas in this head of mine, and especially the time. About every 6 months I do a new one. I am due. Okay. That won't last long, thanks to our Perilous Myr. Any white cards that have fallen out of the metagame? Jeez. Oblivion Ring, you don't see too much. That used to always have like a one of and like sideboards, but you never see that anymore. What else? Oh, I know I'm going to think of something later. And well, that feels really good right about now. To attack with both. I literally can't block unless they just don't like flyers. Oh, that's right. That's a really good call, Quadratic Hawk. Ication Javelineers. That's beautiful. If you want to go way back, what's the dude with Suspend for 1 white? It's got like some little shadow. Suspends for like 4, and it's a white shade. Way back, that used to be in like and Razor Golem, but that's not white. So, but I've always liked Ivory Giant. I've always wanted to make that work. Okay, I gotta focus up here. What am I doing? Doing stuff. Okay, we'll stick with this plan. If something goes south, I guess we might as well do it now. I'll wait. Yeah, Shade of Joker. I used to play 4 of those. That's crazy. Wonder why I always lost a blue. Wait 5 turns and then get it bounced. It's like, the math isn't working out here. Probably should have responded to that in case they do have an Ephemerate build to keep their Hawk alive if I zap it here instead of taking 4. All right. Well, this makes things easier. Now I can at least block, right? I don't know what's worth killing here. All right. Definitely going to be Rats time real quick. Let's Rites this. Blowing up partial damage. Drawing 2 cards. That always feels good. Those are cards we want to see greatly. We could just trip Rats for 1, lose our team, and point all the, the evil at our opponent's critters here. Much rather wait just a wee bit longer. We've got blockers. I can probably deal with 1 Footlight Fiend. I'm going to stay back. We're going to play possum here a little bit. Yeah, Ivory Giant. That's a lot of card. I know Unlimited, I've had so much success when I play cards like Sleep or those, tap everything effects. Oh, God, just blowout games. They're not going to like our next turn. It's like you lose your own stuff to shoot things that hurt you. But yeah. Now, Snapbolt's List, I saw him play that a few weeks ago, and it's always a chore when I bump into it. Always. We'll block here and here. Might as well just shoot to the face because I am going to trip that rat for everything it's worth. We'll shoot here. They're attacking, have this great hand, and we're able to do as much damage as they're doing on blocking and then drawing 2 cards. Would have been funny to have another effect there to... Yeah, naked board. This feels pretty good to throw the rats into the fire. I can't really prowess out of the deal. 1, 2, 3 cards down. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to do this now. No cute tricks. They might have prismatic. Any sort of spell just keeps everything in it. So we'll just do this. Done. Oh yeah, that Cloud Goat Ranger. I know. Yeah, and when I play online limited with those Phantom packs, that's always a good call. What's it make? Like the 3 dudes. Yeah, that's right. Face my Squirrel Wrath. Bone Picker's not going to last too long in this. They're probably sitting on quite a few Galblast too. Munitions. Pretty active now. I mean, they've got the Wellspring to trip to it, so it's by no means over. It would have been nice to gain a whole lot of life there, but I've also noticed so often that Crypt Rats is unexpected. Like, people used to play around it or stuff, but God, it's almost in no decks. It's like, here we have probably the best removal spell in the entire format. And so many tricks you can play with the 0 or 1 at a time, stacking the damage to get around prismatic and stuff, and nobody's playing it. Really shocking. 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures in our yard. Soon to be 5, let's be honest. I'll throw out the Fiend. If he wants to lose a synergy effect, that's fine. I'll do 1 more damage to him. Might be tempted to wait on that so that they can take out Bone Picker next turn, I would assume. 15 to 13. With my white border rats. Damn you, Quadratic Hawk. Oh, God. Nightmares about white bordered cards. I still can't believe that offended some people when we did that. For months we had a... You would choose which card would be burned at the stake, and we had, I think, 8 white bordered cards. Some of them were good, like Counterspell and Pestilence. But I would burn them live on the air when people would use up their little points here online. That's fine. It gets rid of if they have another Wellspring, I like that play, but I mean, I would do it too. It's just, I'm glad that we got rid of that little bounce synergy plan so we can do some more stuff here. So we'll just bring back Bone Picker with our Pit Keeper over and over again, especially if we get a Unearth here going on along. Oh, I like this draw. I like it a lot. We'll do this. That way we can gain 4 life when they sacrifice 2 things. But let's be honest, they probably just have a lightning bolt, but why wouldn't they have done that, right? That'd be strange. We'll do this here. Well, let's see. I think the Bone Picker is probably the best call here. Okay. Yes. Now what to kill? I'll let them kill that. I'll bargain this. I'd rather do this than pay all that extra. I mean, we could have gained 4 with this, but change of plans. In case I do draw another like bargain effect or something. There, we got a dispute out of the deal. See, I kind of know what I'm doing. Let's do that. That way we can at least dispute it. Have a good time. 5 damage to 2. And kind of a naked munitions, unless they really want to eviscerate their board. Yeah, Flicker form's awesome. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Like I said, I'll be here all week. No shows missing in the future. True draw 2.5 cards. Love when you draw into another dispute effect and they have another removal spell and you're like, nope, got it again. 12 draw, 10 rats. What you gonna do? Woo! Oh, we got another Boros matchup here. Yeah. So now we're feeling like we're flooded, right? Rally? I didn't give you permission. Ooh. They got like a double Gal Blast here and then finish me off on their upkeep. Is that what's going to happen? Why do I know what's going to happen? Ouch! Boy, making us regret that Reckner's bargain on the Footlight Fiend. Should have saved it for the big bird. Hey, there's some more love. Huh. Let's attack. I'll bargain for life here. Or do I dispute? We get 2 out of the way regardless because I might be able to find a Bone Picker so we can bargain for 4. Hey, JLB, first time catch you live. We played a few times last week. Love the content. Thank you for the shout out and the love, my friend. I'm not getting much in this game. Let's see. Let's dispute our own land. Keep our guy active. Keep the threat assessment live. Yeah, we can do this. We'll bargain this. Then we'll unearth it. Woo! Hey, that's cool too. We'll cast the Pit Keeper. We'll go get our Bone Picker. Yes. We'll play the Bone Picker. And play the Marauder. Yeah. Woo! Let's do that. I'll sacrifice... do we have a Marauder in the yard? We do not. So I'm just going to sacrifice Marauder here. Well, you know what? If I keep the Marauder out, he's a little more scary, and it might take a little of the removal aspects off of this. So I'll lose the Pit Keeper. If we draw another Unearth, that's awesome synergy. What's better than Unearth? Doing it twice. Thank you, Chimpskey. Woo! I don't think I've ever seen this avatar before. It's like a burning knuckles. I thought it was a treasure chest at first, but looks just like some savage punch going down. All right, this is getting scary. They're hellbent, so I'm not too worried. We've got him this game. As long as we can kill this thing, because, yeah, okay, we win. Or do we? Maybe not. We'll see. We've got to get lucky with the Perilous Myr here. Go like this. Play the Myr. I'll sacrifice it. Draw some cards. Hit him for the last bit, hopefully. Let's find another sack effect or Crypt Rat or Unearth or, geez, just about anything but that. My goodness. That's really unfortunate. Any artifact wins them here. I want to make it look like we've got a bargain sneaky play here. Just in case they've got another Monastery Swift Spear draw. I want to be insured against that. No artifact, no artifact. It's too late in the game for Lifestaff to matter, I think. What an exciting game that was, huh? Okay. Well, that was about as close as it gets, ladies and boys. I really like these in this matchup. But just two. 2 debt to the kami. Stuff will die. I like Lifestaff in this build. I like this here. Footlight Fiends can be a bit underwhelming in this matchup. Perilous Myr is definitely staying. I like to side out a Pit Keeper games too in a lot of matchups because that way their oomph of graveyard hate doesn't hit as hard. But yeah, that's about as close as it gets, right, Shiraz? I wonder how many of those we've had on Propaganda over all these years. It's probably in the 20s by now, where 1-to-1 finishes. I should say 0-to-1. I think this is okay. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. This is mostly for the enchantment because that can nibble us apart. As we saw, it usually costs them too many resources. Excuse me. Let's try this. Yeah, that's right, Chimpskey. The only life point that matters. The last one. We have so many board games in this house, as you all know. And my wife went and got like miniature versions because we're going on a big adventure out to Yellowstone of everything from dominoes to rummy cubes. So now we have all these good games, and now we have 2 of everything. Oh well, good problem to have, right? A wife that loves the same thing you do, playing lots of games. I like these little Rohan art. That's very cool looking. By the way, if any of y'all are from Canada, happy Canada Day. Oh yeah, happy Canada Day. I think you said that at the top of the show, and I forgot to write it down and remember it. But if our friends to the north. What exactly is Canada Day? Is it like your 4th of July? Is that like the day you became official, or did somebody just say it's Canada Day? Like they say like, oh, it's National Cell Phone Day or some silly things like that. I swear you look on a calendar anymore and it's just like, come on, you're making this stuff up. The Barb the Butterfist. All right. Well, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I'm just going to set up shop, prepare for it, and we'll start doing stuff next turn. Nope. 2 damage ain't worth 3. I'd rather you have to deal with it. It's a neat board state. I gain 3 if you deal with the problem and it shoots the problem. Canada, eh? Said no one ever. That is a neat little synergy. I overlooked Batterfist. I will be the first to say I think we really hit a home run on the last few reviews. We've been like spot on with what actually gets played. That one I missed. I was like, did not see that synergy. Now our debt to the kami is useless, so we will just hold it until munitions shows up. Boy, are they artifact light. Look at that. I'm sure there's a good play here, and I don't see it. Yeah, these are both kind of dead cards at the moment. I don't like either of them. Well, let's maybe I bring out the rat and so this is a play a lot of people don't understand. I'm not saying it's some awesome thing, but I'm fond of playing what I call a naked rat. If I ever do this against you, 100% I've got Unearth in my hand. It's so it costs you a card. And rightfully so. You got to get rid of a rat. You can't take National Donut Day away from me. There we go. It's better than in our face, right? Now, if they follow it up with immediate graveyard removal, that's a thing. But National Wiki Bear Day. Now, that should be a thing. Skyfisher. Come on, one more mana. Let's wipe this board clean. Oh, sure. I'll take one. And so will you. Bam. And take one. Feels like this one could get away from us. We really need a swamp here. Damn. I'm still going to wait on our little Unearth trick here. Let's play the Myr. I can at least get the Hawk out of the way here. We'll equip it. Lifestaff can keep you in so many games. Well, I read that question earlier. I know everybody knows about it. It's just there's some lists where, you know, a card's way better than what it says. And in other lists, it's just like, yeah, it's okay. But, man, in Black Sack, it is so good. The only problem with having a shaved head, I'd still do it even if I had hair or a lot of hair. But for the cooling effects of it. But it's that shine. Ugh. Twice a day, I got to remember to just wipe my head down. Start blinding people, right? Alrighty. Well, now we can kill a Skyfisher. That's a nice deal. I hope that stays that way. And Chrome Dome Tribal. That would be awesome. We take 5. Our opponent's on to us. Can really run into this blindly here. Ooh, I like this play. Okay. Man, I wish that Skyfisher. We could still target the Skyfisher with the leftover here, but we won't have to because we've got this. Let's attack. I'm going to attack here because we're going to lose it anyway, but they might think like, hey, I don't want my Glint Hawk to die, so we get in an extra 2 damage. It's a sneaky world. Woo! And why did we cast Crypt Rats into its nakedness? So that we could do this glorious move. If we had a Village Rites in the mana for it, that would be really nice, but I ain't going to worry about that. We'll go for 3, done. And they've got a Batter Fist in hand. We can block with the Fiend all day long. Our life totals are complete and we haven't attacked, so that's pretty fun. Nobody respects the rats, people. Kills everything in the game. Just like that. Why I call it the best black deck. We got really screwed game 1, and we didn't lose since. And we faced a lot of meta lists, including a Myr that some would argue might be a superior build, especially if you care about your creatures. Whole point of this list, though, if you pick it up, and again, you got a friend that wants to get in a Pauper, whatever. I mean, 10 tickets, you're in, right? You can get this, and we saw in that game why sometimes this can be better than Snuff Out, and a hell of a lot better price too, probably 13 times less. No, just kidding, bad joke. So yeah, I really stand by this. Again, this is kind of the flex spot. Lifestaff really kept us in that last game, but sometimes it does feel like I need 18. But you know, if there were like more artifact lands that don't come into play tapped, I might play it. But between the Shambling Ghast and the Deadly Dispute being able to kind of get you there, I think 17's doable. I come and go on this logic all the time. Sometimes I go up to 18 for just mega consistency. And I tell you what, when you put in that 18th land, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get screwed, not flooded. We all know how that goes, right? Get ratted. Yeah, so I can't get my head around why this, like, you know, when you look at Sunday results, why isn't this in like every 4th list? It's so good. I know you need a lot of black mana to make it work, but it's just, you know, outside of Guardian, and we've got the main deck answer for killing that and then some, because we have 7 main deck answers, add in Unearth and then Pit Keeper, and all of a sudden all of your answers, you have 14 or 15 of them, and so it gets pretty crazy. Anyway, what's it say? Loan bots get 5 or 6 tickets, so you could get a deck loan for free. Hey, that's right. Copy of Darksteel Citadel of Mindstep Thrall. I wouldn't want it. That's a good call. I mean, if you want maybe a little bit more artifact based, or that 18th land, it might be neat, because then you could use it as a tracer. If you're familiar, in my very first video, I talked about tracers, which I haven't talked about in a long time. But like, if you wanted to do that, what Mindstep Thrall's mentioning, it's fun to put in one copy of something like, so all my lands match, right? So a tracer would be something like a Citadel or a swamp that doesn't match, so that when I draw it, I know like, oh, and then you take notes. You're like, do I like seeing it right now? Is it too much? So that you know that's the card that was being considered. And similar to like in the military, when they shoot things and you see where the bullets are going, those are tracer rounds. And I call that, I use that in deck design sometimes. If you ever see me playing something a little mismatched, it's because I'm working out the wee bit percentages off in the bits there. So yeah, I just, when you lean this aggro, and there's so many games when you need that one. We saw it twice today. You need to top deck a swamp, or trip a token to make Crypt Rats really do its thing and close the game. And when something comes into play tapped, it's soul crushing. And I would argue a lot of times things like Baron Moore, while a lot of decks it's the right call, but there's so often, if you're doing that, you're kind of already in a position of winning. I like to kind of have that top deck mentality to deck building, where it's just like, do I want to see this right now? And it's like most of my list, you'll be like, whoa, it's like Christmas morning all the time. So anyway, enough of this chatterbox, guys. Have a wonderful 4th of July if you're out here in the States. Happy Canada Day to you Canadians out there. Thanks for spending some of it with me. For the Canadians in the chat room here, please spread the word, the love, the pauper, and such. And I think I might have fixed that problem. We had a pretty flawless show today as far as tech issues go. But again, if you're a streamer, make sure you only have one mic source, because that's what was causing a lot of the hiccups there. Anyway, I'll be online most of the day. My wife's friend is in town, so I'm going to be playing it a little bit more than usual. And if you see anything, if I tap things sideways, you know why. I probably got a little bit too much gin and tonic. All right, with a DJINN, this is Deluxe saying adios, and we'll see you next time. I'm not quite sure what we should go out with. Let's do a little Gray Merchant, Zodiac. Adios, everybody.